Hey guys, it's Josh Lloyd. How's it going? I'm here to talk about whatever it is we've got going on, and that is maybe trades, maybe no trades. Who knows? We'll see what ends up happening. It looks like a little bit of momentum on that Utah Minnesota Lakers trade has been pushed back on somewhat. Rob Williams out, by the way. Keldon Johnson playing. Al Horford also out. Massive opportunity for Luke Cornett today. So yeah, that just happened. I'm going to do a dribble game, but now I've realized that I don't have my dribble game screen open, so I'm going to go and bring that up so we can go straight into that. And then we might as well just go straight into it now because we're here. Let's do it. All right, so who we got on? Shaq and Rui Hachimura. It's LeBron, obviously. Of course, it's... Hey. No. Oh, this system is broken because it's LeBron. Okay, let's just do Westbrook then. But it's LeBron. Dribble game, you are wrong. What? Shorter path, Shaq to LeBron to Rui. Bro, that's what I put in. Anyway, thanks for screwing me over there, dribble game. That's great. Let's have a look at the lineups for today. As I just realized, I wasn't prepared for today's show. I've been dealing with this nonsense Twitter stuff all day. And it didn't have my little picture small enough. And by the way, I still can't fully tweet everything, but couldn't reply to tweets. It was telling me that I tweeted too much, which was a lie. It happened to everybody, obviously. Then I could only tweet by scheduling. And now I still can't open TweetDeck, which is frustrating because that's how I see all my all the info. Because the Twitter actual website's trash, right? You get pushed into accounts you don't follow. You have to auto refresh. It doesn't just automatically scroll like TweetDeck does. It's just a trash app in compared to TweetDeck, but TweetDeck doesn't work anymore. So shout out to legendary African-American Elon Musk for screwing things up again. Need a center to stream tonight. Domenico, I hope you are not streaming tonight and burning your waiver ads. I wouldn't do it, but otherwise it's Luke Cornett. Go ahead and pick up Josh Green. His usage will rise without DFS. No, it won't. That's not really how the usage works. Dorian Finney-Smith was a below-average usage player, and that's exactly what Josh Green is. That's not true. Kyrie's in today as well. Is Jamal Murray's knee inflammation concerning long-term? It's not his knee that he had the torn ACL on. It's the other knee. It is a little bit of a worry. They're going to be really cautious with him, I think. It is a concern because of potential of overcompensation, and that's happened so often with injuries. You either get soft tissue injuries after an ACL, or you get other overcompensation stuff. He's been going really well, obviously. This is a little bit of a concern. Is Okoro better than Hull Neto? Probably, yeah. Is Rubio a stream today? Again, I highly advise against streaming. Like Rubio would be fine as a stream today, but I highly advise just generally against burning an ad for 1 day's worth of Ricky Rubio. But there's going to be some really interesting stuff. Let's actually go through who the injuries are. So Cody Martin's out, Beal is in, Gafford's in, but Kuzma and Monte Morris are out. So that hopefully means Delon Wright gets a big opportunity, and maybe even look at Kendrick Nunn there. Garland and Mitchell both out for Cleveland. I guess it's because they're both being traded. By the way, Killian Hayes is starting for Detroit. Not Alec Burks. So old mate dickhead Dwayne Casey decided that wasn't a good move 3 games later. So Killian Hayes is starting. Hull Neto is starting alongside Levert, Okoro, Mobley, Allen. Actually, Neto's a pretty good stream today as well. Sorry, I said you were talking about Neto versus Okoro. For fantasy today, it's probably Neto. So a lot of stuff going on there. The Hornets lineup is as per usual. Ball, Rozier, Hayward, Washington, Plumlee, and the Wizards are starting Wright, Beal, Avdia, Porzingis, Gafford. So good value there on Wright. But I would hold off on streaming as much as possible. There's just a lot happening today. What other injuries do we have? Horford and Rob Williams are out. Jaylen Brown is back. Luke Cornett's playing. Marcus Smart is out. It's still a game time for Joel Embiid. Trey Jones is out. Langford's out. Sohan's out. And Anunoby's out. But Keldon Johnson's in. Duarte's in. Kyle Lowry is out. Oladipo is out. Orlando Robinson's in. Gabe Vincent is in. Kyle Anderson, Rudy Gobert, Jordan McLaughlin are questionable. Austin Rivers is out. Jared Vanderbilt is questionable. Luka's out. Kyrie's in. John Wall's out. Drew Eubanks is probable. Whew. Wow. So there you go. That's where we're at. Killian Hayes in. A well-connected guy on Boston radio thinks Kyle Anderson could end up with the Celtics. I just don't believe it's true. How would that impact his value? Well, it would kill it, really. He's not going to start. It would kill it. Avdia started last game as well, mate. He's replacing Kuzma, and you'll go back to the bench when Kuzma returns. You've got to be taking the piss, Nick, surely. Surely that's a piss take. I'm stashing Juice McBride in case Brunson gets traded. Surely not. Do I think Embiid is a go tonight? Yes, I do. Do I think the Blazers make the playoffs? No. Do I think Clay will start playing back-to-backs? I wouldn't be confident with it, no. Any chance we see Gobert traded again? Nope, no chance. What Filipino food did you end up eating yesterday? I tweeted it out. We did a video of it. We had like a chef's meal. We had lechon. We had adobo, beef adobo ribs. We had like a roasted cabbage thing. We had some kingfish. We had some calamari. Some little hash browns with peanut sauce. Some tacos. What are the guys? Sig or something? I can't remember what it was called. And then a leche flan with passion fruit. Who would I rather use a waiver add-on? Killian or Sexton? Probably Killian. Just going through what else is happening here. Killian Hayes starting. Yeah, we know all this stuff. Yeah, all confirmed. You'll see them turn into yellow soon. But all of those first 4 teams, Charlotte, Washington, Detroit, Cleveland, all those lineups are confirmed. What a weird day today is. Just so many weird, so many weird situations with players in, out, random. It's going to tempt you. It's going to really tempt you to hold your waiver ads because people go, man, there's so many options available. But also remember, it's one day. Like a lot of these things, Hull Neto stream, it's one day. Killian Hayes, different story. Colin Sexton, a bit of a different story. But like a Hull Neto stream is one day. Even a D-Line Wright stream is probably one day. And I'd rather hold for a longer term situation tomorrow. That's how I use my waiver ads. Yeah, okay. Did I hoop growing up? No, I didn't. I played other sports. Didn't really play basketball at all growing up. I played at like school ground stuff, but not competitively. I only started playing like competitive basketball when I was like an adult. But I was also very much skinnier when I was younger. What are the chances Vanderbilt get traded? Look, I'm going to say every trade is under 50%, but Vanderbilt feels pretty close to 50%. What was my favorite food from the Filipino? It was probably the calamari, probably. I'd like the adobo as well. My partner's was the lechon. Is that lechon? Flan, is that how it's pronounced? Okay, thank you. Leche. It does, Tim. You're right. Getting old does suck. Where is Bones getting traded? I don't know. Literally no idea. Absolutely no idea. If you are desperate to make the playoffs, then waiver ads today, no problem, right? But understand that you are hamstringing your long-term value, and it is one day. Like, is a one-day stream more... Like, because if you make the playoffs to get cooked 7-2, is that worth it versus maybe I can still make it and then improve my chances to win a round? That's a decision I can't make for you. I know how I like to play it. Again, I would rather sacrifice streaming on 3 days, which again, in most weeks during the season, because of volume games and waiver ads, you sacrifice streaming 3 days anyway. I would rather hold for that purpose. Anything in Boston worth with the big boys out? Look, Cornette's going to be the guy to have a look at there, I think. But again, I wouldn't bother streaming. What are my thoughts on the celebration in the third quarter? ridiculous they stopped the game for 20 minutes rather than wait until the end of the game. It was always going to happen. I don't hate it that much. What was weird, the fact that there was like 11 seconds left in the third quarter, when they could have just waited till the end of the third quarter and then done it. I don't hate it that much. And initially I went, this is stupid. I went, you know what? It's totally okay. And I think they just would have been better waiting until the end of the third instead of 11 seconds to go. Stash Bones, there is some stash value there with him. I'm not 100% convinced that he's going to just walk into a 26-minute, 28-minute a night roll. I'm not. I think there is risk in that, but again, we're one day out. I don't mind that as a stash. That's better to me than streaming in someone today. Oh, sorry. Start Josh Hart or Mike Conley today. I think it's hard. I'm a little worried that they pull Conley out as a trade goes down. Do I think the Wolves could get more for D'Lo? Getting rid of him for Conley doesn't sit right. He's not that good, D'Angelo Russell. He's also an expiring contract. And no, I think Conley's a better player than D'Lo right now. And he's expiring. You're not going to want to pay him. I think that's totally okay. Does trade mostly happen at the deadline date? In that normally 2-hour window beforehand, you'll get maybe one or two that happen earlier in the day, but yes. Is John Collins underperforming? Yes. Is Bones or Mann a better look on the Raptors if Van Vliet's gone? Well, that's just so many hypotheticals there. Bones is a better player fantasy-wise than Mann, though. Who should you drop for Kyrie's return? Ivy or Malachi Branham? It's probably Branham to me. It's probably Branham. I'm just trying to look long-term with that. Could it be the last game for Plumlee? Yeah. But I don't think it is. But yeah, it could be. If they acquire D'Angelo Russell, does that mean they're almost definitely trying to make a playoff push? Yes. And it looks like they'd be getting other players in that deal as well. So yes, that would be making that trade for that purpose, yes. So we've got all those lineups confirmed now. I know you don't like vetoing trades, but Kawhi for Mathurin and Jeremy Grant must be vetoed. No, why would it be vetoed? Look, it's obviously, to me, it's very obviously stupid. I would rather Kawhi, but the person trading away Kawhi has gone, terrible playoff schedule. I'm scared of load management, and I think he's going to get hurt again. Now, I think that's a poor assessment of that trade, and I also probably think Jeremy Grant's a lot better than he is. But why? What's the veto? Are you going to veto stupidity? I don't think you should. It would definitely raise my eyebrow and go, why are you doing this? And then wait to hear what he says. And there's always context. Like, is the bloke trading Kawhi away completely out of the playoffs and has no chance? Then what are you doing? Then that's a veto. Shapa, is it worth adding Mark Williams just in case? Like, we've been talking about adding Mark Williams for about the last 2 weeks. So, yes. Drop Mark Williams if Plumlee doesn't get traded? Maybe. Williams is providing enough back-end value where we can hold for a couple of weeks to see if they make any minutes change at all, which they might not or they might. So, he's probably could be a hold. So look, that's what I mean with context. You can't just give a trade and say, well, this is a veto. Like, if that person's out of the playoffs and can't make the playoffs, then yes, why would they be doing that trade? If you're out of the playoffs and can't make a trade, can't do it. Does Cam Thomas remind me of last year's Desmond Bane? Not really, no. Bane is like a lights-out three-point shooter, and Thomas hasn't been that until this season. I still think that Bane's a significantly better player than Cam Thomas. But he doesn't really remind me in that sense. Does Cam make the starting lineup tomorrow? I guess so, but with Durant out, probably. So who do they go with? Dinwiddie? Claxton. They're locked in, right? And then you got the other three spots. So Dinwiddie and Claxton locked in. So you got Thomas, O'Neal, Finney-Smith, Simmons. So 3 of those guys. You probably bring, I think I've got it projected that Finney-Smith comes off the bench for his first game. And then it's O'Neal, Simmons, and Thomas. So I think he probably does start tomorrow. Is Achua worth a stash? Like, as I've always said, I don't think he's particularly good, Precious. But yes, like, we're one day away from the deadline. Let's just wait and see what happens, yeah? Should we be adding Gabe Vincent? That's an interesting one. I am very worried about Kyle Lowry. There is a chance that a Vincent stream lasts 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's not just a one-game stream. So he's on the borderline to me, yes. What was I disappointed in Bronny's drip? I couldn't even tell you what he was wearing. Jesse says, is Gary Trent a hold in an 18 points league? Jesse, you can answer this question, not me. Like, should you stream him in and out based on need? Like, what is he average? Is he averaging 27 points and the guys on your waiver wire averaging 25? Then it's a really easy decision. Then he's not a holdable player because streaming in gets you more value. Is he averaging 30 while the waiver wire guys average 20? Then you probably do want to hold him. There's some very simple sort of calculations you can do with that sort of stuff to figure out if it's a hold or not. How am I doing my fantasy leagues? It's a mixed bag, and some of them I'm on top. I think I'm first and third in a couple of roto leagues. I'm like sixth and I think I'm sixth in a 30-team league, fifth in a 30-team league. In some of them, I'm struggling. It's all sort of it's a mix right across the board. Is Simmons a drop? I don't think so. But I get where you're coming from. Who has better rest of season value, Ivy or Branham? One thing I'll say about Ivy is that I know he's going to play as a starter the rest of the season, not a problem. Branham, I can't confirm that. I can't be sure of that at all. Ivy's the one to go with. What was the noise I hit at the end of the buy low, sell high show? It was this. Tanari Chapman, pick Rubio for tonight? Sure, or Neto, but also, you don't have to. I wouldn't waste a stream on it. Do I care about where my fantasy team stand in the playoffs? Not really, no. Not really. You can win it from anywhere. It all depends on the relative strength of your team at that time and what moves you make. So if you make the playoffs, it doesn't really matter. So I finish getting that 1 week off. I don't actually think, yes, it puts you closer to a championship. I don't think it actually makes you it's not like your own fantasy players get that rest off because they're still playing actual NBA games. So as long as you're in the playoffs, I don't think it really matters that much. Would I give up Kessler for Julius Randle? Well, that's just going to depend on my team, Robert, because probably, but Randle gets you no defensive stats and can be a real issue with some of his percentages at times, whereas Kessler's never going to get you the scoring or assists that Randle does, but he'll get you a gigantic field goal and block numbers. It's a big difference. So Randle probably, but it really depends on your team. Do we leave Isaiah Jackson on the wire for good this year? I don't see why we wouldn't, honestly. Unless something happens like an injury, there's no reason for me to have him otherwise. It would be very nice to get an official word on Embiid. Unfortunately, we don't have that yet. Is Ayton a sell high? Yeah, probably. But is anyone going to do it? I don't know. Do I think the Bronco is a must-grab right now? Christian, he's been a must-add player for probably 8 weeks. So yes, I don't know how he is still available in your league, but yes. What time will the trade deadline be over? 3 p.m. Eastern. What is your assessment of Melton and Linux value, taking into account the statistical production and other relevant factors, but ignoring any trade impact implication? Written by Chat GPT. Why did you get it written by them? I think that they're both sort of back-endish sort of guys. Olynyk is probably more secure in a higher value role because his role isn't going to change game by game the way Melton's does. But they're both in that 90 to 120 sort of area, I think. Will BBM ever do DFS projections again? I don't think so. That's not my choice. It was Ken, the guy that owns Basketball Monster. He's like, I just don't want to be involved in DFS stuff, so we're just not going to do it. And it actually was okay with me. Like, I don't really play any DFS anymore either. So yeah, I really doubt it. You were banned by Yahoo for your fantasy team for a Poole and Duran for Trae Young trade. Was that warranted? No, why would you be banned? That's so weird. Am I interested in a locum position in a pharmacy in Sydney? Absolutely. Man, I'm not even registered anymore. So unless you want an unregistered person working there, no. What are the chances the Lakers, Wolves, Jazz trade doesn't go through? There's still a big chance of it. Like nothing is done until it's done. I think there's a pretty big chance. When is Seth Curry coming back? Or not until at least next week. I would think maybe the deadline is a real problem. A real problem, real possibility. Trade show is like 4 a.m. in Australia, East Coast. Yeah, no, I'm going to be going live at 5:30 a.m. my time. You can do that, Keith. You can use our daily projections with the DFS points. We just don't have the salaries inputted. Killian Hayes a must add. I think so, yes. Predictions for the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are going to win. That's my only prediction. Right. Have I heard about the Turkey news? I assume you mean the earthquake? Yeah, and in Syria as well. It's pretty bad. We know some people here who are doing some fundraising and donation stuff for people back in Turkey. We donated blankets and a whole bunch of stuff. So if you can, there's obviously a lot of bad stuff going on over there at the moment. Do I think any coach will get sacked? Not anytime soon, no. It's a weird time to do that. Maybe you get something. No, I honestly think you won't get any more firings this season. I'm just checking if there's any more interesting things that I've seen. Embiid is listed active, by the way. That doesn't mean he's going to play, but it's usually a pretty good indication. But he's listed active. Again, it doesn't always mean that he's going to play. In case there's a hot pick up by the deadline, what's your drop priority? Eason, Simmons, Jabari Smith, Mark Williams. Well, I can tell what's really hard about that is that, I could say Mark Williams could be a drop, but what if Plumlee's one of the guys get traded? So I'd like to hold him. Honestly, I don't really see a situation where Jabari Smith's value rises unless he just starts getting more usage. I don't know why that would happen. Or the shots start going in. We've seen 50 games of it not happening. So he's probably the one that I go, I don't really see anything changing for him to boost his upside. And while his role is there, bloody hell, he's been bad. So it's maybe him. Is Burks out or Hayes back starting? Now, Burks is in, but Hayes is back starting. Is Kyle Anderson must roster when he gets healthy? Rest of season, no. Because when Towns is back, he won't be that guy. But short term, yes. Where Jamal Mosley is a coach, top half of the league or bottom. Honestly, to do that, I'd have to go through and rate all 30 coaches to see if he's top or bottom half. I'd probably put him in the bottom half, but not in the bottom 5 or anything like that. Maybe in the 18 to 21 range. But that's just completely off the top of my head without looking at anything. Bill Barr or Calamari? Obviously Calamari, come on. Josh Green, add now or wait. A quick reminder of 2 days ago's game from Josh Green. There was no Kyrie or Luka Doncic, so Green went off. We have seen Green play 30 minutes for 2 weeks prior to the addition of Kyrie, and he wasn't a 12-team league player. So I wouldn't think that he's a must-roster player. Yes, Dinwiddie is gone, absolutely replaced by... Kyrie is 1.5 Dinwiddies. Finney-Smith gone, that does help, but Finney-Smith was also injured for a month or so, and Green wasn't able to do much in that time. So you can also look at the numbers there. When Finney-Smith was out, what did Green do? And the answer is nothing. So, yes, it was a great game. Yet the last time he played, 2 days ago, and he might be all right today. But Kyrie and Doncic, they are two big pieces, and he will just become a low-usage guy, similar to Reggie Bullock, similar to Dorian Finney-Smith, who's a fringy 12-team guy, probably more 14. Okay, 5 minutes to go here. Wait for more news. I can't believe the Pistons did that with Hayes. It was so stupid. Bench him for 5 games. What was the point of it? Honestly. Especially when you see something, you go, oh, this is stupid. Like, why have you done this? And I sort of understood the logic a little bit, like, hey, we want Ivy as the point guard. But as I said at the time, like, Ivy's not going to be the lead ball handler next season. He's not. You've got to get him playing off the ball because Cade Cunningham is going to be the lead ball handler. So it was pretty confusing in that sense. And now, but if you're going to commit to it, why'd you reverse course 5 days later or 5 games later or whatever it is? That's the weird part of that as well. So we're waiting on Embiid. It looks like he's playing. Kyle Anderson, Gobert, Vanderbilt, McLaughlin, and then Ntilikina and Keon Johnson. Not that they have any real impact here either. Is Royce a drop now? I think probably yes. I don't really have a bold trade prediction for tomorrow. I just sort of let it come to me rather than like, oh, this will happen. I'm not that's not normally what I'm about. Is it soda or pop down in Australia? It's neither. It's like soft drink. We call it soft drink. Did I see the Rising Stars draft? You know what? I saw it and paid no attention to it. So I've got no idea on who went to what team or anything. I just didn't pay any attention to that. Hartenstein doesn't fill up the line enough, even at weak position. I'd rather have Sims. Why? Sims playing like 20 minutes. Hartenstein plays 29 over the last week. I don't agree with that at all. Yeah, I think Killian Hayes is must roster in 12-team leagues. Why do so many teams not have confirmed lineups in? Because they only have to do it 30 minutes prior to the game, and the only games that are within that time frame are the 4 that are confirmed. The others will start to trickle in, but this is just usually how it goes. Is Canberra lovely or meh? I don't know. I was there once about 30 years ago. Is Scotty Barnes a buy low? I don't think so. His recent production's been a lot better. So I don't think that's really... Look, I mean, if you can get a buy low, you do it. But I don't think it's really that likely. I feel like he talks more about the Magic than Rockets than anyone. Really? I don't feel like that's true. There is a lot to look at them with those teams because of weird rotations and the way things go through, but I don't think I talk about them more than anyone, do I? What do I watch games on in Australia League Pass? Yes. I do. What's my hot take tomorrow? There will be an all-star traded. There you go. I don't actually believe that, but that's a hot take because I don't know. Actually, who would be the all-star traded? Bradley Beal? He's not an all-star. Who would be the all-star traded? A former all-star? Either a former all-star will be traded. I'll give you that. Do I think Russ leaving LA will be positive or about the same cat league-wise moving forward? I think it'll be worse, honestly. He'll go to Utah if that's what's going to happen. He'll get waived by Utah, and then he'll sign as a buyout somewhere, play fewer minutes, and be in a smaller role is my guess. The Lakers roster is so bad. You don't understand how bad... Maybe you do. Their roster is so bad that Westbrook has to play 29 minutes a night. On a good team, he's so destructive to what the teams try to do that they can easily just play him 18, 19 minutes a night. Their team is bad. Like you were having 30 minutes of Lonnie Walker or 30 minutes of Austin Reeves. Max Christie was in the rotation every night. Yeah, their roster is terrible. And Westbrook was getting those minutes and still not being particularly good. I don't really see where he goes, where things become significantly better. Any chance the Grizz stay with Tillman and move away from Clark when Adams is fit? Yeah, look, there's always a chance of that, but I really don't think it's likely. I can see Westbrook going back to the Wizards. That is a possibility. Absolutely a possibility. And in that situation, I could see him actually gaining value because Monte Morris isn't good and the Wizards are terrible. But honestly, look, if you've watched Westbrook play it all this season, he's so detrimental to on-court production that it'd be a pretty rough situation for a team to bring him back in. And guys, that'll do it. Thanks for being a part of the show. Hit thumbs up on the way out. Next time I see is going to be the recap for today, and then not pregame, trade deadline show tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Embiid is playing.